Now, at the weekend, there were reports of an imminent ceasefire in the ongoing Israel-Hamas conflict. Now, it's believed the deal would include an agreement to free dozens of hostages in exchange for a 5-day pause in fighting. But Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said there was no deal just yet. Let's get the latest now and speak to Mia Alberti, who is joining us live from Lebanon. Mia, thank you so much for your time. What's the latest on this?
Yes, I mean, this is something that has been on the world for the past couple of days. Israel and Hamas seem to be closer and closer to reaching this deal that we don't have that many details of yet, but it seems like we are closer than ever. Could happen in the next few hours or in the next few days. This negotiation has been done through mediation in the United States, in Qatar, so we have several actors trying to make this work. Now, according to reports by Reuters, for example, they say that this deal includes the exchange of the release of 50 hostages held by Hamas in Gaza in exchange for 3 days of a humanitarian pause in the fighting. So this is just the type of numbers that we could see. If these numbers end up being part of this deal, this would be the largest release of hostages that we have seen since they were taken by Hamas fighters on October 7th. So a very significant number for the Israelis, relatives and families that continue to wait to hear what happened to their family members, but also for the people in Gaza that have been living through an incessant hell, as some organizations have put it, with non-stop strikes, with attacks on hospitals and schools, with hundreds of thousands displaced. So, of course, for both sides, this would be an important exchange. But it is important to note that it would only happen if this deal also represents a strategic move for the Israeli forces, who are, as we know, as we speak, continue to move within Gaza. So it seems that for the Israelis, there is not really, in terms of military strategy, it's not a good time for them to stop this ongoing and successful operation through their point of view.
And I suppose this, of course, is coming at a time when, the world was even watching those painful visuals coming to us when it comes to, what has been happening at Al-Shifa Hospital. People being given there, patients being given about an hour to evacuate and all of that, which was happening. But let's talk about how difficult are these talks likely to be behind the scenes, particularly given the stance by Israel saying that it has been adamant that it wants all hostages to be freed before it can even get or accept any kind of deal. So these talks are likely to be difficult behind closed doors.
Absolutely. We are talking about two sides, let's call it that are very strong in their positions. Hamas wants a complete stop of violence. They want a complete ceasefire. Not only Hamas, but the Arab region and a lot of international countries around the world as well. They've been calling for a complete ceasefire. They said that not all the negotiations can continue without that complete ceasefire. That's a position that we have heard, for example, from Arab countries, saying that the first step for any type of negotiation, short-term or a long-term peace negotiation, has to start with a complete ceasefire. Then on the side of the Israelis, we are seeing their position being that all hostages must be released, and Hamas needs to stop their aggression until they can also stop this aggression in Gaza. Although we have heard from the Israeli side that it appears that they do not plan to remove their troops from within Gaza, and so this is the situation that we have. And we have to look at the populations for the Palestinians. We have the Israeli forces occupying their territory, killing their civilians, attacking their hospitals and their schools. So a lot of people don't want to stop their side of the fighting until they get what they want, which is a complete withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza and a complete ceasefire. And from the Israeli population, there will be no successful end to this except for the complete release and safe release of all of those hostages.
And Mia, we saw, of course, at the weekend as well, Hezbollah and Israel trading rockets and missile fire in areas near Lebanon, and I wonder what's the latest on that.
Yes, I mean, we've been seeing dozens and dozens of more attacks cross-border from Hezbollah, from Israel. On Monday, though, we did see another development here with Hezbollah launching at least 4 Burkan missiles. These are very heavy artillery missiles. They have a load of 300 to 500 kilograms of explosives, so really large bombs being sent into Israel. Of course, Israel has responded with airstrikes that have hit, according to Lebanese authorities, have hit the house of an Amal politician that belongs to the Shia Amal party here in Lebanon. They have also struck a church in southern Lebanon. So we're continuing to see this cross-border exchange, and of course the people there in the south are already paying a heavy price. Tens of thousands have left their houses. The economy there is completely in shatters, and the same thing is starting to happen in the rest of Lebanon as well, which is being completely affected by this so facto war that is happening in its south borders. Although it is not a declared one, the effects of it is like the effect of war. So we continue to see this escalation. Interestingly, we see Russia starting to take a more active role. Today, the Russian ambassador to Lebanon told the country's foreign affairs minister that the operations in the south must stop, and also called for a complete end to the military operation in Gaza. And also interestingly, Russia has called for a meeting of Arab states on Tuesday to discuss what is happening in Gaza. So, of course, Russia is a close ally to Iran. Iran backs Hezbollah group in Israel, who is in Lebanon, who is attacking Israel. So it seems like there is a new shift in dynamics, at least a new player coming into the game here.
All right, Mia, thank you so much for that update. Do appreciate it. That was SABC News correspondent Mia Alberti live from Lebanon.